Welcome back. We are about to go and see Singcho to ask about Yuandai. See what he has to say. Is he at the, no, he's actually not at the library. He's next, or the bookshop. Next to the bookshop, though. Is he reading? Yeah, of course he's reading. What are you reading now?
Huh. It's you two. What brings you here?
Oh, we have questions, but, you know, it's always nice to say hi.
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you about something.
Yeah. Little nod.
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can say for sure.
Hey, you are incredibly well read and just knowledgeable in general. Anything at all would be helpful and appreciated.
I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of a nameless heroine who's been featured in various chivalric novels.
Oh, perfect. I was about to ask what this person's name was, but then I realized you said nameless heroine.
Nameless heroine?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered,
Time is
a
right.
nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps.
It sounds
People
Adeptus-like.
idolized her, but never learned her name.
Could she also be a nameless heron?
All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng.
Oh,
They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of otherworldly strength.
I wonder if we'll see Chongyun at all. I mean, there's other exorcists, I'm sure, than just his family or just him. Actually, not sure if that's a family business for him or not, but be a nice little connection.
After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her incredible accomplishments.
Maybe she chose to go the Madame Ping route and live as a human. Maybe. Still thinking she's an Adeptus.
The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai. I hope that's somewhat helpful.
I think it might be. It's not much of a lead, but is a useful piece of information, so thank you.
Thanks a lot, Shincho. We knew it'd be worth talking to you.
Of course.
It's nothing at all, just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story,
Really?
but it was just out of personal curiosity.
Hey. Curiosity is a wonderful thing, Singcho.
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool.
Yeah, I agree,
wait,
Paimon.
Shincho, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places often associated with her?
Ooh, good catch, Paimon. He didn't really specify.
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of three places. Wangshu Inn,
Okay.
the area just north of Jueyun Karst, and Jingyun Peak.
Well, I mean, Jueyun Karst is just Adeptus Central. Wangshu Inn is regularly visited by a certain, was it Yaksha is the word? Adeptus, so. And I'm forgetting exactly where Jingyun Peak is.
Perhaps the
to check the
real-life
map.
heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those three places. That would explain why those locations appear in the various novels written about her.
Of course. Thank you so much, Singcho. You've been a huge help.
You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me put the pieces together.
She may, but she's also very forgetful these days, and I wouldn't count on it.
It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. There were even rumors that she became extremely ill.
She seems in good health.
I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something. There's probably far more to the story than what's been written.
There probably is. Of course, now that I'm thinking about it, the 50-year time frame doesn't really line up with the only Adeptus I was thinking maybe could be. It's very possible that she's a new one. But that seems unlikely to me. There have been others that have been name dropped that I forgot about. Also possible. I guess we'll see. I could be way off base here.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover the truth.
Yes, of course.
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical than any work of fiction.
Well, just maybe. Truth is often stranger than fiction, at least.
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Xingqiu. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar?
Because it's, wait a minute. I mean, it's a very Adeptus sounding story, but I'm having a hard time keeping all the Adeptus stories in my head straight. Also, Paimon, maybe we should leave before, talking about Xingqiu in the third person like he isn't even here.
Oh, right! There's a drought in this story, too! Xingqiu, are droughts super common in Liyue or something?
It doesn't seem like it.
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them, like by cultivating the soil or digging canals.
Maybe the nameless heroine is actually Cloud Retainer. But, yeah, well, like I said, we'll see.
So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several centuries.
Yeah, because we know Cloud Retainer helped with that drought. People, praised her for it, and she's don't overreact, I barely did anything. That doesn't answer who this old lady is.
The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What
Yikes.
started as a natural disaster soon became a human tragedy as well.
As they so often do.
That sounds awful.
It does, Paimon.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity, to do so much for the people while asking nothing in return.
Well, Cloud Retainer is pretty awesome. She's my favorite of the birds, at least.
Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land in ancient times.
Okay, well, yes, literal wars between literal gods are pretty cataclysmic. Yes. So that's fair.
They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin and devastation.
Like Morax?
Do you have any other questions?
Maybe.
We're good for now.
Okay,
We're just
no.
going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun and the others again. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it.
I'm not convinced it's her. That sounds more like Cloud Retainer's story.
much for your help.
I mean, it's very possible that she's just an old lady who maybe Cloud Retainer helped when she was young.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
I guess we'll see, though. Alright, where are you guys? Way... Oh, just saying hi to Madam Ping. Kind of surprised I haven't seen any... Wait. I was about to say I haven't seen any lanterns, but I take that back. I see them now. Hello, Madam Ping. It's been far too long. As always, thank you for my home.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
All right. I think. I don't think I'm misremembering that we've already been introduced to this.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, but Ping, what has amused you so?
You, I think.
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form.
Yeah.
Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you appear just the same as ever.
Well, that is what normal Adepti do, yeah. You're pretty unique, Madam Ping.
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a personal matter.
Oh? On how to alleviate your loneliness?
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me a little nervous. What is it?
Well, the inquiry is as such.
We're not going to interrupt you before you get a chance, are you?
Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor, not unlike the one that you yourself lead?
Cloud Retainer. You want to live a little closer to your apprentices? I just love her so much. How, I mean, she could never admit it outwardly, but she does crave companionship, I think.
It does not require as much as you may think. Still,
Really?
do you mean that...
That's actually surprising.
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Nothing save for some trivial matters.
Yeah,
Have you unearthed any useful details?
maybe. But I'm more and more convinced that it's just your story again.
Shinto has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined up with us again.
Of course. Shuyu and Yuandai soon arrive at the scene. Aw, what's the matter, Shuyu?
Do not be troubled, young lady. Here, have some tea.
Aw, Madam Ping is always wonderful. The nicest old lady in the game, probably.
Thank you so much.
Actually, you know, comparing these two now, Miss Yuandai does certainly look younger than Madam Ping, at least.
What do you think, Shuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
I'd say Madam Ping is more of like a 80 plus look. Miss Yuandai is maybe a 60 if she, grayed a little early.
According to the story, the nameless
Where's she
heroine
going?
eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe that's my grandpa.
Maybe. Certainly possible.
I don't have many memories of him, but there was this one time I found a box in our attic full of a bunch of weird sigils.
Ooh. Like Adeptus sigils, maybe? Seems like the stories were on the right track. Should probably pay a visit probably pay a visit to the 3 places mentioned in the books.
I think so too. Granny might remember something once she's returned to a familiar place.
Yeah, assuming they are familiar to her.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup.
I wish I could taste it.
It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
But yeah, this is the thing, is the way she talks. Everything she says. I just can't believe she's just a human.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Yeah. Granted, if she was an Adeptus, I feel like Madame Ping would know her. I mean, Cloud Retainer thought she knew her.
Thank you.
Well, let's rest here for a little while then. Enjoy some tea, some nice conversation amongst friends.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Of course, little Shuyu, anything.
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you.
Okay,
Let's go talk over there.
sure. I'm curious.
You can taste the sweetness of the dew?
It's just a feeling. The sensation of stepping out into the mountains on a cool morning, gazing upon the small droplets of water hanging from the leaves, and feeling the sweet stream of water soothe a parched throat with every swallow.
See what I mean?
It's a sense of calm and serenity, one that stretches on and on until days become weeks, weeks become years.
I really want to know more about you, Yuandai. Who you are. Where'd Cloud Retainer go? Is she hiding? Is she embarrassed? Oh, she's been going with us.
What's wrong, Shuyu?
I didn't know the secret was for Cloud Retainer too.
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but are you guys all adepti in disguise?
Well, one of us is.
Oh! About that.
Paimon, you don't get to reveal Cloud Retainer's secret for her. Why do you say that?
Well, you guys just seem super special.
Well,
Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen Yun call herself an adeptus.
there have been a few times where I feel like she's almost slipped up.
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Shanyun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain to Shuyu here what you really meant by that.
Yeah, you just gonna come clean?
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern to you?
I mean, it's not that big of a deal, Paimon.
I knew it.
Yes, you did. You don't sound surprised at all. I mean, look at her. She just screams Adeptus.
Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crane.
Oh, maybe it was her. She is the illuminated bird after all.
I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white crane flew down from the sky.
I wonder if that was Granny.
She put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house.
Aw.
And fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I was already back in my bed, and my fever was gone.
Oh, that's so sweet. Look at that. I love it when they do the 2D artwork.
I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance.
I mean, it's either Cloud Retainer, or I wouldn't be at all surprised if that was, in fact, your Granny.
So, I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
Paimon, any thoughts on us ever having met an illuminated crane?
A pure white illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown.
Cloud Retainer, were you blue and white? I mean, I guess your hero's blue now, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's been forever since I saw you in your bird form.
Have you ever met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features.
Really?
One surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative accounts.
Very likely, true. Especially since she was, sick at the time. And this was who knows how many years ago. Those kinds of details will absolutely become muddled.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then?
Oh, I don't believe that.
Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway. All I really want is to help Granny recover her memories. I'm really grateful for all your help.
Of course.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one.
Yeah.
Let's go to
With Granny.
first.
Okay, I'll go get Granny.
She can make the trip, right? Maybe Cloud Retainer could carry her on her crane back? Well, Madam Ping, it was a pleasure seeing you.
Leaving already? Well, just remember that you can come over for a cup of tea anytime.
I'll hold you to that, Madam Ping. We are pretty busy, so I can't promise to come back anytime soon. But at least next Lantern Rite, hope we can make time to have a chat.
Wangshu Inn. Wangshu Inn.
Anything coming back, Miss Yuandai?
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind by its flock.
Really? Is that bird Cloud Retainer?
I believe I used to have a room here.
Oh.
It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot of time looking out that window.
Waiting for
Which
someone?
room was it again? Let me look.
I'll come with.
We'll come with too.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so
I
familiar
mean-
with this place, that must mean she lived here, right? Wait, huh?
What do you see? But also, I mean, yeah, she probably did spend time here. Also not sure what's confusing you, Paimon, about her having stared out a window.
No! You're all of a sudden, you scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Yes, I swear, he is the Batman of this world. He just pops up right next to you and then disappears just as quickly.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a look.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been Paimon, it could have been Cloud Retainer. I mean, it could have been, Miss, Yuandai.
If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern.
Absolutely not. And hey, I think I have Cloud Retainers first, and then the Lantern right before it expires. I just wanted to let you know that you're up on the docket. I think both you and Jean. We're doing you very soon.
It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form.
So you have met her in this form before. I mean, she said everyone's said it's been a while since she's been in that form, at least since before she met Shenhe. But, I mean, Xiao's pretty old, so it'd be more surprising if he hadn't seen it.
I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon War.
Oh. I mean, I guess I could have assumed, but I didn't know you guys actually fought in the Archon War. I guess you were supporting Zhongli. Also surprised she fought in this form. Maybe it's easier to fight in than her bird form.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war?
An excellent question, Paimon.
Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Uh-oh. One of her great imitations.
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang Continuous Fire Mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face the full might of the Adepti.
Spot on, Paimon. Spot on. Absolutely perfect imitation. And the name? Absolutely what she would have called the ballistae. Bang, bang, continuous fire mechanism. Paimon's imitations are always top tier.
An impressive imitation.
I know, right? I'm glad to see Xiao agrees.
Paimon knows her all too well.
You do.
Even so,
Wow.
Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics.
Right. Actually, I mean, Cloud Retainer offered no, she broke no argument about the accuracy of Paimon's, imitation. I guess she just agrees that it was perfect. Flawless.
The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death.
That was her name, Guizhong.
The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
And that's when it happened. Man, that was a long time ago then. Guizhong's death. Chances of Miss Yuandai being an amnesiac Guizhong are probably slim to none, honestly. But one could hope.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take up your bird form again?
Isn't the bird form their natural form, Paimon? Xiao, do you have a non-human form? I've always wondered that. And if so, what does it look like? Sort of just assumed all full Adepti had one. Had both. I don't think the half Adeptus, or, the partial Adepti, like Yanfei, Ganyu, have a non-human form.
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape?
Fair enough, but actually no. Here is one use. First off, you would have hands. Now, I know what you're saying. Cranes have talons, but you also need those to stand on. But in your human form, you have talons to stand on and to grasp with. Plus, 5 fingers with opposable thumbs are far superior for grasping than talons, I think. And it must be much easier to drink and enjoy food in human form with human taste buds over, your bird form. Now, I will grant you that flying through the sky would be much cooler and basically trumps everything else. But you can transform back and forth, can't you?
When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, A mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
I suppose that's fair.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form.
Right. Like us. Or Shenhe. Or any of her other, well, I was gonna say any of your other, Prentai. But no, Ganyu's seen that form before.
Although I do believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago, when she decided to don her human form.
Oh?
I believe it was for the purpose of...
That's more recent than I would have thought.
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Oh, no, you don't. Do tell, Xiao.
Granny, are you okay?
Oh, no. What's happening, Shuyu?
Back then, at this place,
You what?
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now.
Well, it was nice to see you again, Xiao. Like I said, we'll see more of you very soon. If I had to guesstimate, okay, it'll probably be close to like 6 episodes from now or something, but that's relatively soon.
Should you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud Retainer, I trust you are in good hands.
Very good hands. See? That's another thing. That saying doesn't work if you're in your bird form, Cloud Retainer. See? Just
Everyone,
teleports. It's so cool.
I think Granny is finally beginning to remember her past.
Well, what did she say?
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
a long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Did you now? What illness?
So what Shinto said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
Did see it. Didn't remember that detail.
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took a great toll on me, and there was no cure for it.
Was it, cured by a great white illuminated bird? A pure white illuminated bird? I just had a crackpot thought of, Shuyu and Yuandai being the same person. I mean, it's only because of that one similarity between their, what she told us about herself and there not being a granny at the time and, well, her talking about being sick here. The fact that there's no cure for it. Like I said, very crackpot.
I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window.
Oh.
It was a solemn sight. I remember crying, but I'm not even sure I knew why.
You are a fascinating person. I so want to know more. It does explain why you said you always looked out the window, though.
One day, I met a traveling merchant.
Oh?
Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills.
Wow, that's young her. Young Yuandai. Huh. And she was actually pretty old there, so... like I said, very crackpot. I'm curious who this is. Definitely not showing.
He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several decades after that.
So the dementia you're suffering from now is actually... It's possible.
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, Are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago?
I mean, I don't think we can possibly know that for sure.
And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check? Paimon's brain kinda hurts. Do you remember anything else?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh, if only I wasn't so useless.
Oh, it's okay. There's no shame.
Hey, you're not useless.
Aw.
You've done so much for me. Watched me grow up. Raised me.
Yeah.
How could you say that about yourself?
Yeah. Poor little Shuyu.
Oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a bit frustrated. That's all.
Aw. So sweet. Shuyu's a good kid. I like Shuyu.
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us make haste to the next location.
Yeah. What do you say, Paimon? Where to?
Next location. Next location. Oh, why don't we go to the area north of Dwayun Karst next?
Sounds good to me.
There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start?
There's two landmarks there.
Paimon's got it. Let's check out the houses in the area first. After all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today.
That's why your
This
brain's
way
hurting,
we'll
Paimon.
recover all of Granny Wendai's memories in no time.
Yes, we will. Just make sure not to burn it out, though. I don't want to have to reboot you. But no, Paimon. Oh. Look here. North of Dwayun Karst, you got Mount Outsang. You got Qingyun Peak with Moon Carver. There's a lot of landmarks north of there. Granted, this is more northeast than just straight up north. Well, these houses have seen better days, that's for sure. Anything about this place? Any memories?
I don't remember this place at all. I don't think I've ever been here before.
Well, we can move on to the next one.
Still, I was thinking, this place feels perfect for a game of hide and seek.
Hey, if you want to play, I'm down. I love hide and seek. I'm still a little salty that they didn't have the hide and seek minigame again this year. Because I don't think they did, unless I'm forgetting. Or maybe it was earlier or something. Could have sworn it's usually in fall, though.
Huh? Why a game of hide and seek?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I used to play that game a lot with Shuyu when she was younger.
Aw, I mean, it is a classic game. For children, especially. It's fun, too.
I don't remember playing it that much. Are you sure about that, Granny? We only played a few times, and we stopped once we realized I was no good at the whole seeking part.
That's okay. It just means it's the adults' job to make their hiding spots a little easier.
Ah, is that so? Then I must be mistaken.
I'm not so sure about that.
Not here then. Let's try somewhere else.
It's a clue. It's definitely a clue.
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here?
Seriously.
Guess it's time to round up some bad guys.
What are you guys doing?
This is order.
You're pretty weak, actually. Anyone else? No?
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny Wendai?
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before.
Oh, that's a good sign. Childhood home, something else?
But I don't think I stayed here too long.
Ah,
I might have just rested here briefly before continuing on my way.
I see.
Got it.
Surprised you remember it
It's
at all
okay.
then.
There are still plenty of other places we can check.
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... Ah, yes. I brought some sweet snacks with me.
No.
Go on, take some.
Oh.
You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then Paimon will help herself.
Yeah. What kind of snacks are they, Paimon? Some hard candies. All right, last but not least.
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
Yeah. What do you say, Madame Yuandai? Does this one seem familiar?
This place. It's...
Ooh, jackpot.
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu. This is where your father was born.
Oh. So this was your home.
It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit.
Ooh, what the? Who on earth could that have been?
I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but neither of us knew if it could hold the monsters back.
A barrier. So either an exorcist or which she might have already said. There exorcist was mentioned earlier. Or an adeptus maybe. It did say that he was good with sigils or something.
I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees, reciting a prayer over and over. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath, but spare my innocent child.
What sin? And who was punishing you? What oath?
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again and the fog cleared out.
This just gets curiouser and curiouser.
Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was your father. I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy. It was the first time I'd ever felt such happiness in my life.
Aw. That's sweet. But no, so this wasn't actually your home then. It was just a resting stop when you were being chased due to some broken oath.
My dad?
Yeah. We still don't know what exactly happened to him, do we?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu.
Aw.
You're so much like him, and I love you both so much. But you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did I do?
I really wish I knew. I mean, maybe one of you has adeptal blood?
I don't care what you might have done, Granny.
Aw.
You'll always be the person I love more than anything.
Yeah.
You're too sweet, Shuyu.
She is.
I'm lucky to have you with me. If not for you, I would not have had the courage to come here to try to remember what I had forgotten.
I so hope we get more answers at the final location.
All right. Let's not stand around any longer. There's one place left, yes? Let's go take a look.
I mean, come on, it's...
If one recalls correctly,
Yeah,
the next place should be Qingyun Peak.
exactly.
You and I, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
It's perfectly okay.
Climb on, I shall carry you to the top. Oh, such lightness of weight.
Well,
All those who grow old grow frail in the end,
Yeah.
do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health.
it could be the opposite.
Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not, you have my aid in this endeavor.
Yeah. And hey, Hu Tao will help you pass on as well. I mean, we might even get a 2-for-1 deal out of it. Both you and Shu Yu. But yeah, no. I mean, come on. Qingyun Peak. She spent a lot of time there. Who else spends a lot of time in Qingyun Peak other than Adepti? Or people seeking the aid of Adepti, I guess. Still. Fontaine. Did I just see a lizard fall from the sky?
We're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny
Let me see.
It's gotta.
How strange. Have I lived here before?
I bet you have. Take your time.
When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places.
Right?
But here, I don't have that feeling.
Oh.
Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong impression on me.
Well, shoot. There goes that idea. Entirely.
But did the stories get it wrong then?
Well, no, I'm still pretty confident. Well, especially now. I'm getting more and more confident that that story is about Cloud Retainer. We can't expect them to get everything right.
Yeah, that's true. But they're also the only thing we have to go off of.
Also true.
Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Yuendai's memory just like the others.
I'm sorry to disappoint you too.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's Paimon's fault.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something else out. Just you wait.
Yeah,
Thank you. If only I could remember.
that would make things easier.
Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Ah, there we go. Mount Outsong.
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsong? Looks like we've come full circle.
Yes, we have.
Mount Outsong. Mount Outsong.
Maybe it's not all isn't lost. She could still be an Adeptus.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something that makes you sad.
Aw. I don't think it's sadness, though.
Mount Outsong, What am I really?
That is the million-dollar question.
Mount Outsong holds some familiarity to you?
Which, if that's the case, I mean, that would explain why Cloud Retainer had some familiarity with her. I mean, It is her home.
It does, but I can't go back.
And why is that?
Are you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and dizzy. What is wrong with me?
Seriously. Oh, look at her sad face.
Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
I couldn't imagine what, but worth asking.
Let us go to Mount Outsong.
But
I don't think it's gonna hurt her, Shuyu. Just memories trying to break through.
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories. It currently resides at Mount Outsong.
You prepared it, like, in your head just now, or it's something you just happen to have ready to go, one of your many inventions?
Wait, really? When did you do that?
Thank you, Paimon. That is the question.
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Damn it, illuminated bird. Oh, you and all the Adepti just love your riddles and mysterious ways. Oh, that's convenient. Don't mind if I do. Wonderful. What we have is, are we gonna use the crane device this time?
Come on, just tell Paimon already. What's
Yeah.
the thing you've prepared?
Please tell us.
Here, this is it.
Oh, it is that thing.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here? Oh, is it another invention of yours?
I mean, that much was obvious, Paimon.
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the Suspensus Somnium Mechanism.
Suspensus Somnium Mechanism. You are a great namer, Cloud Retainer.
It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state.
The song that Streetward Rambler, Madam Ping, recorded for you? Perhaps?
Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed.
As long as you have adeptal energy.
It can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Have you undergone trials with this? Done testing to make sure it works?
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, why did you keep it to yourself until just now?
Yeah, good question, Paimon.
We could have come to Mount Outsong right off the bat and saved Paimon a lot of floating.
Well, no, Paimon, it's all you ever do is float. I've never seen you use your legs even once.
How preposterous. Had Yuendai not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have nothing to draw upon.
Well, I suppose that's fair.
We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of assistance.
Right.
Paimon thinks she gets it now. Hey, what's that other thing?
What other thing?
As previously mentioned,
Oh, right.
a
It's the
gentle
song.
adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One secured such a tune from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
It is a pretty soothing song, actually. I like it.
Oh, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch of grass after a super satisfying meal.
I don't know why, but your yawn is kind of adorable, Paimon. Also, I mean, you literally float. I would hope I have to imagine your body's as light as a feather. Even lighter.
And you and I. Is the mechanism helping you to relax?
I think she's asleep. So that's a big yes.
It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to herself.
Yeah, maybe it'll come to her in a dream, or maybe she just needs good sleep, and I'd feel bad waking her. Maybe we should lay her down, you know, so she doesn't fall over.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
Is that her husband? Grandpa?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
Oh. The mysterious man brought to you made of adeptal blood.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Aw. Oh, same man, but older.
Please. Please, no.
Aw.
Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth.
Her old self having a conversation with her with her young self.
This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never.
Was. I feel vindicated. And oh yes, pure white. She is the one who saved little Shuyu. What was your crime? What oath did you forsake?
So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Yeah.
Granny!
Oh, you said you didn't know a pure white crane. Cloud retainer, you little.
Granny, are you okay?
I think she is.
Cloud retainer.
Yep.
Your memories have returned?
Now, Cloud Retainer, did you know who she was this entire time? From the first time you asked, have we met? Or maybe you had your suspicions.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
They hinted at it way back when.
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything.
What was your name?
Granny, please don't cry. I'm here. I'm here.
Aw, Shuyu.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. Granny is fine.
Yeah. Better than ever, even, maybe.
I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf.
Hey, no, it's perfectly okay. This has been a fascinating little story.
It's all come back to me now. The most important thing that I had forgotten was the truth of what I once was.
I mean, you still are in a sense, are you not?
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions.
Fair.
Perhaps one should recount the story on your behalf while you compose yourself.
It's fine by me.
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered, I must face my memories head on.
As long as someone does, because I am so curious as to what exactly happened.
Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you enough for all your help. I'm ready to tell you my story, if you're willing to listen.
Absolutely.
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter.
Aww.
I love you more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you say can change that.
Oh, don't worry, Shuyu.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that you deserve to know the truth. Some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never atone.
What could you have possibly done that was so terrible?
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst? What happened?
I am, in truth, not a human being.
Yeah.
My real form, one that I held for centuries, was that of a wild crane.
Right.
I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed on the secret of cultivation to me.
So you weren't an Adeptus. You were actually just a normal crane that I guess was imbued with adeptal energy or something that, you know, since you lived here, I'm sure it's just filled with, it fills the air. And somehow allowed you to gain sentience and wisdom. Fascinating. Not sure what the secret of cultivation is, though.
Though she never took me on as a formal disciple, I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an Adeptus in my own right.
Oh.
I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by. Until that fateful day, 50 years ago.
Wait. You sort of passed by something that's kind of important. Can a regular person actually become a legitimate Adeptus? I mean, Shenhe has been taught the Adeptal arts, but that doesn't actually make her an Adeptus. But could she legitimately become one in the future? You know, with further training. Fascinating.
50 years ago?
Right. During the drought that struck Liyue.
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the past.
Oh, that wasn't 50 years ago. The one that, I think Ganyu was the one who told us about that. I see. Forgot that important little detail there.
She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an Adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, relieving suffering wherever I went.
And what went wrong?
But I was still far from being a real Adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special dose of human mimicry potion for me.
Oh. I was about to ask, I mean, you are taking on human form now, so I guess you became a real Adeptus, but no. I'm guessing the potion is still in effect?
She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years.
Oh.
And if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become something neither human, beast, nor Adeptus.
Oh. So it didn't revert you back. In fact, it made it so you couldn't revert back.
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along.
But you never turned back into a crane. Well, yeah, neither beast nor human nor Adeptus.
Was it because of Grandpa?
Aw.
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng.
That
When
explains
we met,
that.
it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as well.
Two fishes out of water. I still don't get what this oath you broke was, though. What that mysterious fog that was chasing you was, though.
Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still,
Well.
just like me, he
Little
cared
klutz.
deeply about the world
Adorable.
and wanted, more than anything, to cleanse it of all pain and suffering.
That's easier said than done. Also, she still wears that same headpiece. Well, that's cool.
I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash. Yet I did not want to leave his side, so I...
You chose to remain human.
Oh no. What happened next?
Or chose not to revert back, at least.
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her abode.
Oh, I wonder if she ever got that letter. Though I don't know if this, as far as betrayals go, this ranks pretty low on the list.
I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again.
I see. The nameless heroine hid herself away. Yeah. I still don't think your crime was all that great, though. Certainly not as great as you made it. Well, your amnesiac self made it sound.
But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead.
I mean, it is what Cloud Retainer said would happen.
Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven.
That makes more sense. Though, like I said, I hardly doubt Cloud Retainer holds that against you.
Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a fortunate coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul-revitalizing tea pills, I probably would have...
What do you have to say, Cloud Retainer? Was it Cloud Retainer
Granny, what's wrong?
who gave you those revitalizing tea pills?
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence?
Or
Tea pills concocted using the
Yeah.
blood of an Adeptus?
Cloud Retainer's blood?
It couldn't be.
Wonder who the person was, though.
Master, don't tell me. Back then, that merchant was actually...
Or was her? I mean, she claimed it was a male, but I guess she could have just been misremembering, or maybe Cloud Retainer took on a different form.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
Aww, Cloud. This is why Cloud Retainer is my favorite Adeptus. I mean, she's just the best.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in perpetuity, the only person I managed to deceive was myself.
Yeah?
You knew where I was all along.
Seems that way.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular
Hide and
game.
seek.
You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time.
Aw.
'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own, no matter what form they may take.
Just like how Shenhe recognized you at a glance.
Wait! Paimon's confused!
Whoa, what's the matter, Paimon?
So, Cloud Retainer, you found Yuendai again? But how? When? And what happened after that?
Well, all good questions, I suppose.
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Oh, absolutely. I would love to have a even more complete picture.